My name is Keeland, and this is my audience member, my beautiful wife, Annette. And today I'll be going over my informative speech. All right. Without employment, social assistance, or housing supports, people may be left with few options besides panhandling, squeegee cleaning car windshields, or criminal activities in order to acquire necessities such as food, clothing, or shelter. That's a quote in a book titled Encyclopedia of Street Crime in America on page 303, written by author Jeffrey Ian Ross in 2013. While some people say panhandlers and street beggars are criminals and lowlifes, I strongly disagree. My name is Keeland Dalrymple, and today I'll be explaining what panhandling is, the main factors that contribute to people panhandling, and why it is a legal solution to a lack of necessities due to homelessness. Panhandling is a means of survival for our homeless community. Because I was once homeless, I know most panhandlers ask for money because they need temporary assistance to get back on their feet. The majority of panhandling homeless don't have the resources to qualify for government assistance or apply for a standard job. Panhandling has been criminalized across the country, though charitable solicitations, whether made by charitable organizations or by the homeless, are a form of speech protected by the First Amendment. That's written in an article titled Speech versus Schuette, published in the Urban Lawyer Journal, written by Mark Perricchini in the year 2014. For most homeless people, all they can do is live in the moment. So when you're doing all that you can to survive, thinking about future goals or plans is really a far-off notion. What is panhandling? Panhandling, often referred to as begging, refers to the act of requesting a charitable donation in a public space. The term panhandling comes from the fact that a cup or a plate, also resembling a pan, is sometimes used to collect the donations. As another possible explanation, panhandling is also compared to the California gold panners who would panhandle for gold, essentially making something out of nothing. Though it may seem that panhandlers are sacrificing nothing, panhandling takes a great deal of patience, social skills, and humility. Best said in an article by Stephen E. Lankenow in 1999, sidewalks serve as stages on which panhandlers confront and overcome various forms of the non-person treatment. That is in a quote from an article titled Panhandling Repertoires and Routines for Overcoming the Non-Person Treatment, published in the journal Deviant Behavior, written in 1999. What causes panhandling? Found on the website nlchp.org under the heading Panhandling, panhandling is caused by a lack of adequate housing, low wages, lack of health care, and other systemic causes. Every year, more and more people are unable to pay their rent because prices in America are increasing and wages are decreasing. Different studies have argued that the lack of social capital, for example, family and friends, the ineligibility for social welfare policies and programs, and the disconnection from the formal labor market explain why some people beg. That is a quote from a journal article titled Beneficence, Street Giving, and Diverted Giving Schemes, published in Political Research Quarterly, written by Christian Perez Munoz in 2018. My experience with being homeless. When I was sleeping on the streets, panhandling helped keep me alive. Most times I would ask for food, but the people who gave me cash were my favorite because it helped me buy things like deodorant, a new shirt, or a pair of socks. Many friends of mine who were homeless were people that had been kicked out of their parents' homes before they had turned 18, like I was. Some people would beg for cash for things like beer or drugs, things that they didn't really need, which made the rest of us who were doing it to survive look terrible. Ultimately, most street beggars or panhandlers are doing it as a means of survival. And when you are struggling to survive, it is very hard to enjoy living. Why don't homeless people apply for government aid or just get a job, is a question you might be asking. The reality as a homeless person is that, unfortunately, you're never safe. Whether being hassled by police, looked down on by the common people, or having your things stolen by fellow homeless, the streets are a dangerous place to live. Because of the stigma of being homeless, people tend to brush you off. They don't take you seriously, and your issues often get put on the back burner. There's usually nowhere to send a homeless person's mail to. Imagine you need your ID to apply for food stamps or a job, but your wallet and important documents were stolen from you. Since there is no way to send you mail, how are you supposed to receive your ID, even if you can't afford to pay for it? These represent a few key factors that diminish a homeless person's ability to function and apply for welfare programs or jobs. But there are many, many more that I won't mention. Panhandling is being criminalized across America. Local governments are paying 2 to 3 times more, cycling homeless people through the justice system, than it would cost to provide them housing and humanitarian services. High-ranking judicial committees like the Supreme Court have found that requesting a charitable donation is protected under the First Amendment and have referred to it as protected speech. That quote came directly from an article titled Panhandling Regulation After Reed v. Town of Gilbert, published in the Columbia Law Review Journal, written by Anthony D. Lauriello in the year 2016. Most businesses, such as gas stations, fast food restaurants, and, in the case of Las Vegas, casinos, are fearful that panhandlers may ward off potential customers, possibly leading to the loss of a business. While I can understand the need to uphold a certain image for your business, I feel that businesses reporting these panhandlers, or trespassing them from the property, are effectively stifling a person's will to live. Though there are many reasons for panhandling, there are even more reasons to donate to the homeless and help our fellow person to survive. Panhandling is caused by many systemic issues and affects people of all races and religions. While locking up our homeless for panhandling is a temporary solution, it takes the focus off of the fact that these people are victims and turns them into criminals. So far we've gone over what panhandling is, what causes people to panhandle, some of my experiences with being homeless, the factors that make it hard for homeless people to get back on their feet, and the fact that our homeless community are being portrayed and treated as criminals rather than vulnerable citizens who need rehabilitation. In closing, I want to leave you with this statement, and it is, donations to a homeless person could literally mean the difference between life and death. So look out for them whenever you can. Thank you for letting me share. My name is Keelan Bountiful. Here are my index cards. I'll just flash them on the screen for a moment here. There are quite a few. I'll go one by one.